This week on Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes, the nerds talk a lot about DC Universe launching this fall. The Doctor joins Star Wars, Alec Baldwin playing a little bit of flip-flop in the Batman universe, Star Wars Resistance, and our NerdOns. Also, some questions from listeners, so stick around and enjoy this episode of Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes.
Nerds Who Get Laid.
All right, welcome to Nerds Who Get Laid.
Sometimes.
Yeah. We have a hell of a show in the store. We have a special
This is the
guest.
fucking best show we've ever had.
We have Tank Top Ray in the house, everybody.
Yeah. It's been a while. Welcome back.
I've been pre-gaming for this podcast for hours now.
He just flew in,
tell.
and boy, are his arms tired. That's how drunk he is. He's legitimately laughing at that terrible joke. So,
terrible.
Just be ready for a lot of
he's already belligerent
volume
and loud.
peaks.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest.
I've got
I'm a
that
little
gate
drunk
on there.
too. So
Tank Top TJ!
yeah.
What?
No. Roll up
I'm gonna
sleeves,
slap the
TJ.
shit out of you. You blow my ears like that again, Ray.
So, like,
Is Tank Top Mike here?
yeah.
So I can deal with that.
I just lost a sleeve. The other one's still intact. And it's long, so
And it was
it's a
my
long
fault.
sleeve. Yeah.
You actually just rolled your cuffs up.
I got high waters on too, so I'm pretty serious right now.
He unbuttoned the top button of his button-up shirt, and whew, he's getting wild over there.
I know. It's really hard to get this medallion out of all my chest hair. So painful.
How do
Guys,
you keep it from snagging?
I don't.
you just
Oh.
pull and you cry.
Oil.
Yeah,
Do you cry
pretty
or
much
do you
after a while, it just rips a medallion-shaped hole in your chest hair, and you just leave it there, and don't
just an
move a
imprint?
lot.
Do you cry, or would that be considered like manly tears, or would that be like
Only because the tears lubricate my beard, which is really important because I get really bad beard dandruff.
You gotta have
So-
that lubed beard.
Yeah, so it's like kind of a circle of hygienic life, you know?
Gotcha. Okay, I
So-
understand now.
Guys, let me ask you: ever go through your Facebook memories?
No, it's
You guys are-
embarrassing.
Yes.
I hate that shit.
I was reviewing.
After 2 divorces, you don't do that anymore.
I was reviewing, and this memory came up, and it actually just made me remember, made me think about growing up, and it was about the first time I got high, and I was in the backseat of my older brother's car, and it must have been some really good shit because I'm an only child. Let's go to the NerdOns.
Go out on a high point.
Literally.
Yeah.
Heyo.
Get your nerd on. 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 Get your nerd on.
All right, sorry, we were talking about our love of dinosaur-based songs and Whoopi Goldberg movies where she plays a detective with a
dinosaurs.
dinosaur. That movie is very interesting because she hated it, so she already isn't a great actor, but she phoned in her performance because she was under contract and had
to
make that movie.
I don't know. She was really good in Color Purple.
I only like her in Ghost, so that's
I've never seen
Sister
Color
Act.
Purple.
Anyone here
Perp.
ever told me that she shaves her eyebrows?
Yeah. Gone.
Wait, anyone here ever told you
Yeah,
that
I thought somebody told me here.
Chuck
I
probably
phrased it
did.
really incorrectly.
Yeah.
Chuck probably told you that. That's
Yeah,
something you
looks
would
it.
know.
That sounds like a Chuck fact.
The question is, does Chuck shave his eyebrows?
Well,
No,
Chuck
they're very
knows
blonde.
easily because of his commemorative
I can't see him
One
from
at
here.
a time, gentlemen. One at a
Whoopi
time.
Goldberg
That's how I
collection
like
plate.
Chuck actually has alopecia, so
Oh,
he has
true.
no actual body hair
Body
of his
hair.
own.
I thought
He
that
wears
would be
not
wigs
Stillwell.
and sticks on.
No. No.
eyebrows.
No, he's got aloe vera. He just sweats. He just sweats aloe. That's why he never gets sunburned.
Just a creamy sweat.
Yeah, it is. It's very viscous. I would almost call it a milk.
But he only sweats it out of the end of his penis. So, Mike, I mean,
Is
it's
that why he always has that nice, flowery smell of spoiled milk?
Oh,
No, that's
old
because-
I'm glad you
flowery
noticed it.
spilled milk
or cheese smell.
I thought it was just like
from under
a
cheese.
drool bank.
From all the drilling.
Just collects on a shirt.
All right, we're actually part of a section that we usually do on this episode where
I
we
think it's called Nerd On.
Nerd On, where we review the things that we have done this week, living the life of nerds, letting you know we're 100% losers. And
Absolutely.
Oh God, yes.
so we're going to start with this. I'm going to be honest. We try and keep the episode to an hour. Here comes that hour right now
Yeah.
as I hand it over to Ray to tell us
Thank
three
you.
things that will be expanded upon, call back to other shows, and a time that he watched a show when he was living in his apartment, or maybe when he turned 17 and he could watch R-rated movies. There will be some expansion upon something of, I watched The Challenge. We will... Ray, what's your nerd on, man?
I did watch the
one for a while.
challenge this week.
It'll all be excellent too.
Yeah, excellent. So I've been on this docu-series kick. I talked about last week and the week before, a couple of that I've watched. I started on this one called Rotten, which is about food and stuff like that. And the two that I watched this week, one of them was on bees, which is kind of similar to...
Seriously,
Seriously, I've never laughed as much as every time I hear y'all yell bees like
You
that
didn't
in that
laugh.
one little video we did.
oh God.
It killed me
I don't know why
every
you-
fucking time.
I don't know why you laugh because you're the one
It
who's
was my
been
life.
most affected by bees.
That's true. Bees and yellow jackets.
You
God
just
damn.
gotta laugh about it, guys.
You got to.
It's laugh or cry.
Or go
But
crazy.
this one was kind of about bees disappearing and people taking bees and like people that
Give
produce
me all your bees.
stick them up.
Is there a string of bee thieves that are running
There
around
are.
this country?
There are. So apparently, according to this docuseries, and this was
Wow.
the bee episode, there's people that like produce honey, but that's not
People produce honey?
This is the
with
next.
bees.
Okay.
This is the next episode.
Bee farmers.
or next series of True Detective.
Human honey.
is the
Yeah, is bees.
is the
So-
bee thieves.
So apparently, like in China, they like water down their honey with shit.
I know that shit's not pure.
That's not pure. So
Been stamped down.
So the U.S. made like sanctions against honey with
China.
with China, but China just fucking sends that shit to Malaysia and then sends it over here.
Yeah.
You think they'd add molasses in Malaysia because that's where it comes from.
So like there's all that shit going on with like people fucking up the honey and our honey.
Fucked up the honey, Ray.
People fuck up the honey and
Drew
then,
the dicks.
and then so they like do these honey tests and everything and they're like, oh, this is obviously Chinese
Honey
honey
got a
because
D.
fuck it, it's bullshit.
What kind of life do you have to have led to get you to a point to where you're testing honey to see if it came from China or
Hey,
not?
if it's unreliable and it's not
Yeah.
pure, I wonder if it's a guy that
wanna
just
know.
sits there and takes a knife and stabs each jar and taps it to his tongue and goes, that's good shit.
That's some good shit.
that's the real stuff.
But
And he's in a white suit with like sunglasses and a crew cut.
Or are they sending the honey in like coffee enclosed caskets and
so
stuff?
apparently the people that produce the honey, they also take their bees out to California
On vacation.
on vacation to all the almond fields to like because almonds are like a huge fucking deal right now, and they pollinate all the almonds and everything.
I want to check my bags. Is there anything perishable inside? Yes, my thousands of bees.
But
Sir, your duffel bag is vibrating and buzzing.
Oh, that's just my vibrators. Thank you, though.
bee powered vibrators. Let's get in on this, guys. So like there was this in this documentary. There was this dude that took like a couple of hundred or maybe thousands. I don't remember. A lot of fucking beehives out to California, and some motherfucker stole those bitches
Guys, all right, I'm just going to stop you right now.
Thank you.
I think that we need to contact Nick Cage stat and write a screenplay, because if this is a Nick Cage movie I've ever heard, here.
He already had a movie about bees.
Well, who's his?
Yeah, The Wicker Man.
Well, who's his partner? Because he has to have.
It has
a
to
partner.
be Jerry Seinfeld because of the Bee movie.
What about Job?
Yes.
He probably stole them.
What are we
That's-
going to take all these bees for?
Will Arnett.
No, it's
Nicolas Cage, Will
Nicolas
Arnett,
Cage.
and Jerry
Guys,
Seinfeld.
you
Jerry
guys are
Seinfeld's
thinking
their captain.
too small.
you
Nick
can't
Cage
have
is-
Will Arnett and Nick Cage.
Yeah.
They look almost exactly
Nick Cage's daughter is dying, and he needs to make some serious cash now. He just happens to be an expert bee farmer who got laid off because, bee times.
And he's going to steal Jerry Seinfeld's bees.
And
Well, if he needs money now, hopefully he has a structured settlement. I know a guy you can call.
God. So the other of this Rotten series, this is all on Netflix, that I watched was one about food allergies, and mostly about the peanut allergy, which has in the last 20 years has grown like exponentially.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I didn't know anyone that had a peanut allergy, but that's like a completely norm thing right now.
The peanut's probably pissed about getting eaten, and they're just fighting
By
back
the
now.
bees.
You know who I blame? George Washington Carver.
Yeah.
That asshole.
walking around swinging
Dead dickhead.
giant jars of peanut butter at people.
Making them allergic.
God damn it.
So I've been liking that one. I know, Nathan, you said you I hadn't watched a ton of those.
I
because
have
there were
not
some
watched
of them
that
were
one.
about like raw meat and stuff like that.
I think I'm actually confusing that documentary series that you're watching with another one,
Oh, okay.
because this is sounding a lot more interesting.
No,
than-
it actually was really interesting. Other than that, me and Allison, work has been a nightmare this week. Whatever, that's boring. None of y'all give a fuck about that. But that means I've been getting home late, so me and Allison have not been able to watch a lot of stuff, but we've been watching Insatiable, which is about a fat girl who got skinny and has decided she wants to do like beauty pageants. The difference between this and a lot of other shows is that she is kind of a horrible person and is just out for herself. It's a
Nice.
Netflix show, and it's based in Georgia. And one of the main characters is he's a man who's into beauty pageants and is very effeminate.
Very Ray Hancock.
He's not very. He's not homosexual at all. He's just very effeminate.
Did you say homosexual?
You said homosexual.
It's a completely different
Is that
thing.
when you're not technically a homosexual? You just like banging your friends. Listen, man, I don't usually bang dudes, but we're homies.
We're homies.
And I'm a
I'm on
homosexual.
a dry spell, man.
I'm a homosexual, and I'm about to sexualize your butt.
If you've ever been to
That's
Georgia,
a nice broner you get there, buddy.
broner.
How about a couple of bro jobs for the road?
Maybe some brainal.
Wait, what's a brainal?
Broanal.
Oh, okay.
Or just head, brainal.
Anyway, so this is about a girl that used to be fat, is now skinny, and is kind of still a horrible person. And her
Is that right up your alley, TJ, over there? Instead of lean back away from the
That's
mic and
TJ's
giggle.
laugh alley right
Chuck's
there.
making me laugh. So I'm just like,
Chuck dying is TJ's laugh alley.
yeah.
Apparently, brainal is right up Chuck's.
It gets him jumping up and down laughing.
I didn't mean to. It's amazing you laugh so much so physically because our friend Justin Dix, it's his birthday today, and I've never seen a man bang a table or his leg so hard. He would. I'm not a small man, and he would push me in good humor, just laughing so hard.
When you get Chuck laughing, he essentially could get a job at Sherman-Williams as the paint shaker.
Or a prostitute.
Yeah.
Just put up one crippled hand, arthritic hand.
So yeah, we've been watching that. We've got a couple more episodes. It's been pretty good so far. It's pretty ridiculous. It's a teen-ish drama, which Allison's really into, and I honestly haven't met a teen drama that I don't like, so I'm completely okay with that.
Hold on. Just a second.
Okay.
Do we have Ray drunk enough to where he's honest and will answer any question
Maybe.
honestly.
What you got?
I don't know.
No,
Did you really kill that velociraptor?
The one that wears the necklace of his
Yeah.
teeth? Absolutely.
Okay, I believe you.
Did you
With my
really?
foot talons.
Did you really fight for the Union? I'm calling shenanigans.
Ray's a Confederate.
Yeah,
I've seen some
anything.
I've seen some Jefferson Davis dollars in his wallet.
He keeps talking about these bonds that are just going to come
They're
true.
eventually they're gonna come back. So I also I went down to Orlando and picked up some cabinets for comic books. My collection is kind of out of control right now. There are boxes upon boxes upon boxes in the studio.
Full of urine.
There are tons of boxes in the.
I pee in them. My pee corner.
That's my pee corner.
That's what
Comics are
turns
so
yellow.
absorbent.
They really are. And there's still tons
And
in the
because-
dining room. I've gotten all of them out of the living room.
And because they're
I'm
older,
sure
you can't
Allison is so excited about that. But I got 2 cabinets now. There are three cabinets. They're 36 inches long. They are, that's what she said. They are,
No, she didn't.
no, she never
What
said
is she,
that.
at Office Max selling a cabinet?
She never said that. They're legal size, so
Got
they'll-
me and 6 of my friends.
they'll
36
hold
inches.
about 1,600 comics each.
Good.
So we're moving.
So you need like 4 more.
Maybe. So we're moving those upstairs to my quote unquote, don't tell Allison, my comic book room. There's a new room upstairs near the new studio that we're working on, eventually moving into.
Collapse the house.
Exactly.
All that weight.
But
Luckily, it's right above Ray's bed. So
have to redo this foundation.
Ain't nothing
here.
happening in there. Zing!
But so I was really excited. I got 2 of them. They'll hold about $3,600 comics. Dollars, yeah, right.
$3,600 worth of comics, so
Nope.
one comic. This is my most prized
10
possession.
cent, 10, 20 cent. So I'm really excited about that to like get that going and to get all this shit out of the studio. I have always hated that comic books, the like main way that you store them is these fucking ugly as shit cardboard boxes. I was really excited when I got my first long box, but they're like, once you get a few of them, it's like, these are ugly. They, no matter what, you can't make them look good. Even if you get like ones with images on them and stuff, they still are fucking cardboard boxes. So I got these cabinets.
Are you really bitching about cardboard boxes on the fucking podcast?
all right, what else you got?
Okay, what else I got? I watched.
Let me tell you about these cardboard boxes again.
So
No, it grinds my gears.
I've been watching this other thing
Inferior
about
packaging.
cardboard boxes. No, just kidding. The other day, if you listen to the podcast, you know I spilled a beer into my computer laptop.
Yeah.
And so my keyboard wasn't working. So I got a new keyboard. Awesome. I got it for real cheap off of eBay. Got it in. Spent about 4 goddamn hours changing out that keyboard.
One letter at a time.
while I was watching Infinity War, which is the first time I watched it since it was in the theaters.
Yeah.
And I got the whole. It took fucking 4 hours. I got the whole thing done. Everything worked. I changed out the CD-ROM too because my CD-ROM wasn't working.
Well, was part of it because your eyes got misty there towards the end?
Maybe. No, I was already done by that point. Maybe.
Gotcha.
Because I started a little bit late. Anyway, fucking get finished with the whole goddamn thing because I have to take every fucking thing out of this laptop, and my fucking J key on my laptop doesn't work. So if y'all have noticed,
I did. I was looking through the news.
and there were no J's.
There's no shade.
There's no fucking J's. So I'm like,
I just thought you were just drunk.
joins J-O. No, there's no. It's just oins. So and so oins. Something.
You should just
It
put
could have been
G's
loins.
in there.
So I contacted the.
Where's it going? What do you mean?
So and so's loins are.
Yeah. So I contacted the eBay people, and they're like, "Oh man, sorry about that. We'll send you a new keyboard." Well, when I bought the keyboard, I got the keyboard and the backlight. And the backlight has an adhesive thing. The keyboard has goddamn fucking 70-something screws in it that I had to fucking take out. I got all this shit back in there and everything worked. I was like, fucking, I'm a champion. I fucking did this. So I contacted them back, and the backlight...
I'm a champion!
I'm a fucking champion. The backlight has this tiny-ass little fucking cable, and it has an adhesive that sticks to the back of the keyboard once you get all the screws back in there.
This is the
Like
oldest
a diatribe.
drunk rant I've heard.
This is while I'm watching Infinity War. So I finished
So
this.
it's a nerd on.
Yeah, it is a nerd on. And it's nerd because I'm fucking fixing a computer.
This is some nerd rage.
Yeah, it's a fucking nerd rage for real. So I contacted them, and they're like, no, we're not going to send you another backlight. I'm like,
Well, this
I'm
be
not going to spend another 8 hours after I spend this second 8 hours if this backlight doesn't work. So finally they were like, okay, if you'll give us 5-star review now, we'll go ahead and send you both. And I'm like, this is a fucking scam, but I'll do it because fucking eBay and PayPal. So they sent me the other thing. So tomorrow I guess I'll try to take this fucking keyboard out and replace it again.
So this has been the first installment of Ray's Pissed.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for listening.
It's a lot more visceral than TJ's pissed.
Yeah, mine was fun and...
But I did watch Infinity War again, and it's still really good.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I saw a really interesting meme where you see it's a photo of it's a still from Captain America when he was frozen in ice, and it said Tony sacrifices himself by hurling a nuke into an alternate dimension, and it's like I sleep, and then the next picture is you have to sacrifice one fucking stupid robot, to win the war or whatever, and then the next frame is we have to save all lives. It's precious, so it's kind of funny.
So, like, an All Lives Matter?
Well, it was more like he didn't give a shit about Tony trying to sacrifice his life, but
he cared
they
about
try to
Vision,
off
the
Vision.
robot.
Yeah, he freaks out about that.
Gotcha.
All right. Is that it for your nerd on there?
Do you want me to yell in the mic more?
No, Mike, let's
Okay.
hear yours, sir.
Don't yell at me, please.
I'll yell into Mike's butthole.
With
I'll
your
open,
tongue.
my mouth, I'll open my mouth so you'll hear this.
Wait till we leave.
So playing a lot of Doom. Big surprise. I just can't get over it, man. I don't know. Like, I get home, I go for a walk, I do my thing. All I really have time to do for it is play 30 minutes. So Doom's what I put in. I just watched finished the first episode of season 3 of Preacher. That's as
3?
fucking weird as what. The first
I
episode.
didn't even know 3 was out yet.
Yeah, it premiered on June 24th-ish, around there of this year.
You've already watched season 2 then, obviously.
Yeah, I watched.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked about season 2 pretty frequently last summer. It was a year ago, so
Okay.
you're probably a little rusty on that.
Maybe.
Characters are still great. They're really keeping the story fresh. I don't want to go too into it. I know it's a well-known storyline, but some of you guys might eventually watch it.
Would you ever read the Preacher comics?
Absolutely. I've always been interested in it because I remember, as a kid, I would, especially when, I guess it was around the time Vertigo came out.
Yeah.
Vertigo Comics. It frequently showed up in Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the art was always really just, I for lack of a better word, really gritty.
It is.
And
yeah.
just kind of.
Is that Garth Ennis? Is
I
he the
think
writer?
yes, it is Garth Ennis.
Yeah.
Is he the writer or the artist?
The writer.
Yeah.
And it just looked so disgusting and so interesting. And I was also raised, I wouldn't say raised religious, but it definitely went against my principles at the time. It was very shocking in that sense.
Against the grain.
Oh,
Yeah.
my.
So I've always been really intrigued by it. And the show's great. So, I think the characters are really true to life. They do a good job. I don't know how well it stacks against the comics. I'm sure someone listening is frothing at the mouth, calling me an idiot right now.
No, I think I've heard it's kind of off from the comics, but I've also heard that it's pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm really enjoying that. Yeah,
Awesome.
It's excellent. Also started a new book, sci-fi. It's called Singularity Trap. This one's kind of interesting because Audible is starting to kind of produce their own content, or kind of almost serializing it. This particular book, it doesn't have a voice crew, but it has a lot of production. So when, for example, somebody talks over communications or something, there's some feedback. But it's really cool. It's sci-fi. Actually, it's from the guy who wrote, for We Are Legion, We Are Bob. It's a really popular sci-fi book. But it's by Dennis Taylor. And the idea of Ivan Pritchard, he's a miner. He's a new miner. Just went aboard a ship called the Mad Astra to go asteroid mining, which I mentioned earlier. I'm going to invest in pretty soon. Because he's trying to give his wife and family a life they deserve, and if you hit it really good at asteroid mining, you're pretty much set. I don't want to go too much into the story. I've read very little, but the book had a prologue where some kind of AI called the Traveler dropped an AI emissary off in an asteroid before Earth evolved humanity. So it's been sitting there for thousands, maybe millions of years, waiting. So I'm assuming they're gonna, kind of meet up. But so far, it's a really good book. I'm having a good time with it. I'm enjoying it.
The name of that was again
Singularity Trap.
Okay.
And I'm about to get on a wonderful book about the wisdom of psychopaths, which for our book club, which according to Chuck, which I take Chuck's opinion with a grain of salt, he hates it. So,
yeah, I take that with a grain of salt because I read nothing but really good reviews about that book. So
got too much words for a book.
You got to pay attention to it.
I hate paying attention to books.
Well,
I just want you to read at me and glean the general meaning.
I will say, I highly doubt you were 100% pranking me there, Chuck. But if you were, it was well played because I was ready to murder you when you were saying that.
Well,
I didn't mean to vote for that one.
If you will remember,
yeah, I was so pissed.
I was
Just, hold on, the readers in. So we have a book club, and we vote for the books. We choose whoever is the person that hosts or chooses the books. You give 3 choices of books you want to read, and I gave the 3 book choices, and I did want to read this book, but it was like the one. My least out of the 3, there was
3
one
out of 3.
Yeah, there was one I really wanted to read.
I wonder who
you got to really stack the deck, though, Nathan. If you want him to pick the book you want.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was open to all the books. With that being said, but I knew I had Mike on board, and I think I thought I had Allison on board. So there was a couple key people I knew were going to vote for my book, but it got tied. And then Chuck comes in. I didn't even know Chuck was in the book club.
I don't know how I was in there.
And
you have probably been in since the very beginning.
No, he's been in for about 4 months.
So
it's the ladies in our group trying to integrate you into normal human society.
He was added in when he got Audible.
Yeah, that was true.
That was a mistake.
He votes for this book.
Yeah,
and then he goes on to message about how he did not want to read this book. And
everyone in our podcast group is fucking pissed.
Now, see,
to be fair, he did hate the first season of Arrested Development.
Yes,
originally.
I always have to remember.
yes.
Yeah,
I was fucking with you, Nathan. I literally have, I think 2 hours left in the book.
What does that mean? What is this hand movement?
No,
the listeners can't see.
No.
Chuck is saying
The
that
description of the book
this is telling
literally
his life story.
is telling you one thing, and how the book goes is... It's fucking... I hate it. I'm pushing through it, and it is not good.
But with that being said, well played on your... you literally had me ready to murder you.
I was fucking you over, but it ended up hitting me back.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Funny side story. My 6-year-old niece saw the book in Katie's purse this morning, grabbed it out during church, and was reading it through church.
Yeah.
Or had it open and was looking at it through church. So
awesome.
she's sitting there with Wisdom of Psychopaths on her book.
Mike, I'm sorry. Were you done with your nerd on, sir?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to... We were kind of getting off on a tangent there.
Well, I did see A Quiet Place again.
Nice.
It had been... I hadn't seen it since the theater. Still a really good movie. I've enjoyed it second time around. It was kind of irritating watching it, though, because...
Why?
Because I watched it with Lacey and Mike,
Oh,
and fucking Mike talked through like the whole thing, which is fine because there's no dialogue. But then he bitched about there not being any dialogue. I'm like, how do you bitch about there not being any
That's
dialogue?
the point of the
That's
movie.
what the point of the movie is.
Is
did he
the po-
rewind it
the-
to a
the-
place that you should have watched with more clarity?
The movie is supposed to be about tension, and the
Yes.
silence and pushes the tension.
I just thought it was funny that he hated it because there was no dialogue.
All right, but
That's
no,
about
I
it.
thought it was a good movie.
When did you watch
It's
it?
one of my favorites.
When it came out on
Okay, well,
video.
on video.
Yeah, same for me.
Charles, what are your nerd-ons, sir?
Death.
Yeah, wasn't here last week, but I had started because I finished Hulu's or Marvel's Runaways on Hulu. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna hit play on Cloak and Dagger. About 5 episodes into that, and it's not good. I
See,
know you've watched it. It's a
It's
super
funny because
slow
I have
burn.
a couple of other people that are like, "Have you watched that? It's so good." I thought it was pretty good.
I don't
it's not
care
as,
about
It's
them.
not as good as Runaways.
No, it was nowhere near as good as
But
Runaways.
I've had several people be like, "Have you watched that yet? It's really fucking good."
It feels like Iron Fist compared to the other Netflix shows.
Eh,
Is what- no, it's not as good. It's good, but not. I don't care
it's
about
still
any of the
decent.
characters.
And I mean, it's a freeform thing.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. Freeform wasn't Runaways, but other than that, I don't know if I can finish it because it's not.
How many in
grabbing
are
me.
you?
About
Chuck.
5, 6.
Chuck,
Yeah, give it a little bit more.
Yeah.
what don't you like about it? I'm curious
It's
because I've just
slow.
heard you don't like it. Why don't you like it?
The pacing is slow, but I get that a lot of first seasons of shows are not going to go straight out of the park and just go full bore.
It's honestly very slow
Yeah.
through the whole season,
But
because it's building up to them understanding that they have powers.
Yeah. But I don't care about the main characters. Sure, okay, one was very well off, freak accident with her family. Okay, now she's poor. The one guy
But what
he's
do you
responsible for is
What do you not
brother's death.
like about
It's
it?
just it's slow. I don't like any of the characters. None of
But
the
you like
characters are
other shows
appealing.
they're
Wait,
slow.
now, what about this?
The
What
characters
if I was
just,
to
they're not interesting.
import a movie into iMovie and bump the speed up?
1.5.
And I made it.
That only
1.25.
works for Audible, man.
No. You can. I can do this for you.
Yeah,
You think you would enjoy it better if everybody talked
No.
like chipmunks?
I just don't care about the characters. But other than that, for some reason I decided, I'm going to go down this rabbit hole and started watching an anime. I'd seen like an episode or two before over the years, but
Guys, let's get
jumped into
Chuck
Full Metal Alchemist.
a body pillow.
I did. I tried to get it 2 years ago. It still has not come in.
Yeah,
Have
he's
you
my Secret
checked on
Santa.
it yet?
But
Maybe I kept it.
You
And I
need to give
do
him
want
that
it.
wrist.
Which
wrist
Full Metal
protector.
Alchemist?
Full Metal Alchemist. It's a
Which
story,
one?
Brother is turned into
What
a
do you mean?
robot.
not the live action, the anime from I think it was 2002, 2003.
Chuck, why are you talking so fast?
I'm
You,
not.
s- you,
He
sa-
talks very
no,
fast.
probably 2002, 2003.
Well, I was trying to think, but
You sound like you're about to tell me about shipping and handling.
Do you also do commercials?
no. But it's pretty much the story
You
of
accept cash on delivery?
Edward Elric and his brother Alphonse Elric, and they dabble into the arts of alchemy. And they try to bring back their mother after she dies.
Sounds like a bad idea.
It was because I can't remember the exact principles. Is like for everything you do, you have to give up something of equal mass and value.
man. You fuck with the devil fuck
So
with you.
they try
man.
to bring back the mother, and the younger brother Alphonse, his body is disintegrated, and the older brother Edward, he loses his leg and in saving his brother, loses his arm to fuse his soul into a fucking body of armor. And it's them trying to go through and find the Philosopher's Stone to correct their mistake, and it's all the stuff that's going on. I enjoy it.
No, I saw the preview for the live action because I had no idea what it was about, but it looked really
I
cool.
want to see that one, but
I know it's
don't.
one of the ones that people love.
Yeah, but it's like only one season, but it's like 50-something episodes. So I'm like, well, it's gonna be a while before I finish that.
It's pretty beloved. Yeah.
How many episodes are you in?
Like 8 or 9.
45.
No, I haven't burned through that many. But other than that, I want to give a shout out to a guy I used to go to school with. He graduated a year younger than me.
shout out.
No, I'm just saying, Chris, thank you, because he gave me the heads up. Walmart had restocked new sets of Marvel Legends, so because of him being a cool guy, I was able to get the Spider-Ham, Typhoid Mary, Poison, and the Eugene Levy Venom figure.
Eugene Levy. Oh,
His
okay.
head looks like Eugene Levy. It's this giant fucking head. It's like doesn't
It's
look
the
like Eddie
American
Brock.
Pie version.
Yes. And now I have completed the Monster Venom once I go home. So, Chris, thank you for looking out. But as Nathan has stated, thing with the book club, or Wisdom of Psychopaths, it's just a huge info dump, and the guy continually goes back to, like, tells a story now, what I said in the previous chapter, and he keeps going. Then he tells another story, and then he goes, I don't get the logic of this book. I was under the impression he was going to compare.
Are you listening to it on shuffle?
No. Fuck you. That was funny, Mike.
I've done that before. Actually, don't think it's funny.
But no, it's
That's
like
such a weird feature for Audible to have.
literally the description of the book. He's talking about like how people just when they hear the word psychopath, it's talking about like rapists, killers, serial killers, stuff like
Nah,
that.
man,
right.
And then
CEOs and stuff.
but comparing it also to another aspect like CEOs, and there's one story where he talks about like this one surgeon, how when he's in his element, you can't touch him. He doesn't care about anybody or anything. He gets the job done. But then the whole book seriously is like, according to this test by this study,
Yeah,
blah blah blah. And it's like over and over and over again. It's like I'm not getting any information.
You gotta.
I'm not getting any
give your
helpful
sources.
tips. I'm not getting any tips. Nothing.
So you wanted legitimate wisdom?
Yes. Maybe I'll listen to it again, but I have like 2 hours
Were
left, so
you
I'll burn through
thinking
that.
this was a how-to book?
Well, they mentioned Bundy, they mentioned Gacy, but that's it, and it's very small.
Or a psychopath for dummies or something?
Okay,
This is almost as angry as he
shut
got
up, Ray.
about
Shut up,
Dark
Ray.
Towers.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Fuck you on that.
Or,
There's one story
Ready
he
Player
talks
One.
about. No, that movie was garbage.
Yes.
There's one story he talks about. My best friend was a psychopath. You know what he did? Copied his homework and threw his homework away because he didn't want the teacher to see, oh, you have the same work as this guy. How's that being a fucking psychopath? Your friend was a dick, not a psychopath.
No, I mean that's behaviors of a psychopath. I think you're thinking what movie psychopaths are.
I don't know.
No.
I think that was being prudent in not having your homework being.
But if it's your
graded
best
for
friend, you gotta
plagiarism.
look. I'll read the book and then I'll
And
argue
it
that.
sounds like it's the literal definition of a psychopath,
Yeah.
not just a crazy
Yeah,
person.
not
but
the movie with like the classical music and just genius.
it's
murder.
it's a lack of empathy.
And then he does talk about that, like stuff like that. But I'm just like, it's literally just like, according to this test, according to this test, according to this test. And it's like I'm not
All right.
getting it.
Yeah, they have to back up stuff.
You gotta
Yeah.
give your sources. What else you got?
Other than that, I finished another book on Audible, the second in the Bill Hodges series
Oh, you
of
finished?
Stephen King, Finders Keepers. I think it was better than Mr. Mercedes.
Really? I haven't hit play on it because I've been doing Earth stuff and it's sitting there. And I gotta.
You should.
I'm going to make sure I read the Psychopath book first
because it is
Yeah.
your book.
Yes.
Let's talk about it's 8 hours.
I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
going to
about 8
listen to it
hours, so.
first. though.
Oh no, I'm just saying it's 8 hours, so it shouldn't take that long. But no, I like this one
It should
because
only take 8 hours or so, you know?
yeah, shut up, Ray. But this one I like because it takes place in two different timelines, and Hodges and them don't show up towards, I'd say maybe a little past the halfway part.
Okay.
But this is more of a kind of like cat and mouse whodunit in a way.
Okay.
I don't want to go too much into it.
Very much want to read it, so I look forward to it.
And once I finish the Wisdom of Psychopaths, starting Finders Keepers, and then I have another series I asked Mike about because the guy who narrated the Rhaenyra Chronicles is voicing this one, The Cycle of Arwen. It was like 3 books for one credit. It was like 66 hours, so that'll
That's a
chew
hell
up
of
a
a
lot
deal.
of time. Yeah.
All right. Is that it for your NerdOns, sir?
Yes.
DJ.
All right. So this last week, I drive a long time to get to work and where I do jobs and stuff like that. So last week I spent a lot of time on Jay and Miles explaining the X-Men. I know we've talked about it several times, but I got to where they got to X-Men Volume 2, Number 1. And it's just been a lot of fun. They had an episode where they had an interview with Claremont and Simonson in the same episode.
Good.
It was great, and it's a lot of fun. Even if you don't like X-Men, they have a great banter between the two of them, and it's one of the most fun podcasts I've listened to besides ours.
Absolutely. It's I'm current on it almost. I have like 30 minutes left of the most recent episode, and they're all the way up to the extinction agenda. So,
Executioner song.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Executioner song. So they're like trucking along, and you're like real fucking close now.
Yeah.
But yeah, X-Men wise, if you're reading it or if you've ever wanted to read it, this is the go-to place.
Yeah.
Would you consider it to be like a companion piece to the series?
Definitely.
No,
Definitely.
absolutely. It helps out so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun, and you get a lot of different perspective than what you would normally
and
input on
they're
it.
so into continuity, so into it. So
Wait, I thought that doesn't exist with the X-Men.
No, it
No, it
does. It's
absolutely
just
exists.
crazy as hell.
yeah.
Then last week I also blew through the end of before Tuesday. The end of our book club book for last month was Educated. Katie and I went through the end of it, and man, goddamn, that the dad in that story is just crazier than hell. If you get a chance to read it, it's a lot of fun. It is
I didn't realize it's a fiction book, right?
it's a memoir.
Oh,
so,
okay.
but it's the author explains at the beginning. She's a non-reliable narrator, but there are things. I mean, it's just based on her memory. So
Weird.
it's weird, but it's just really different.
I will say, out of everybody who was at book club, everybody seemed to rave about it. They really enjoyed the book.
Yeah, it was a pretty good book, and it's very recent too. It came out this year.
Now, was the backstory is a girl that was raised by ultra religious parents that also were end timers, preppers. That
They were
moved them in-
preppers.
and moved them to the middle of nowhere and just craziness. From
she didn't
TJ
have
told me some crazy stories about just they didn't believe in doctors, and the guy owned a junkyard, so he put those together, and it's just danger.
Yeah, the
Like pouring gasoline while smoking a cigarette.
she didn't have a birth certificate
Very
until she was
similar.
9 years old. And they didn't remember her birthday. It's just that she remembered that she always was like at the end of May. She would talk about when her about having her like birthday celebration, which wasn't much of a celebration.
They would just pick a day usually.
Yeah, it was really wild, and there's some crazy stories the dad about what the dad did with the junkyard and stuff.
Or like him getting half of his face melted off,
Yeah,
his hands all cooked
yeah, his
because
son.
he decided to fucking torch a gas tank full of gas.
Yeah,
And now they sell essential oils.
yeah, they sell essential oils
Another reason
online.
why you should not buy that shit.
I saw someone saying you could put frankincense oil on your tires to keep them inflated.
God.
Anyway, go on, TJ.
So this week, Katie's been trying to catch up on schoolwork and get her lesson plans set up and everything, and
When's she gonna graduate? Jesus.
Just give them all A's.
so she's been like, "Hey, I'll work on schoolwork in the living room, and you can just play Skyrim or something." I'm like, "Yes." So I've been playing a lot of Skyrim this week. It's been a blast. As I didn't really get into it as much when it first came out.
Now you're full bore.
Yeah, I'm full bore, having a blast with it and just enjoying it. I always do that with RPGs, though. I always build the character wrong based on how the story and everything else is going, and then I go back to it a
Then you
couple
have
months
your
after,
enjoyable-
and I really enjoy it. Like Fallout New Vegas was the same way. I built my character for energy weapons, and you do not want an energy weapon character for New Vegas. It's not a fun time. But I've been playing a nice battle mage type character and just having a blast with it. So it's been a lot of fun.
I'm pretty much a battle mage every time because I can't fucking decide what kind of character I want to play.
Yeah, I get like that. I played the original version. I just fucked up my perks and everything else and didn't do them right. So this time I've got my conjuration up to 100 now. I'm up to 100 on my destruction magic. Is just
Sounds like too much to deal with.
unleashing a couple of Dremora lords and just letting them fuck things up for me, and I'll just go through the game and just do what I've got to do in the background.
Do what you gotta do, baby.
Exactly. Star Wars Rebels. I picked the Blu-ray set of that up about a month ago.
Yeah.
Very heavy.
And he's been very slow to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, he has reasons why he can't watch it.
There are reasons. I have to make sure
Sleepy reasons.
I have to make sure that the person I'm watching it with is
Sentient.
Yes.
Most unreliable person.
So
Just Clockwork Orange it.
but this afternoon we got home and we just blew through like 6 episodes of it.
Thank God.
And God damn, it's so good. It is. Rebel season 4 is amazing. So if you get a chance, check it out. I really.
What's so good about it?
Yeah.
They build on everything that's come before, and they've tweaked the stories, and they've got their sea legs on, and they're just running with the stories and getting the characters in the right places, and they're bringing you back to places that you've been before, and the Empire's just fucked it up. Like when you get to Lothal and you see how it was at the middle of season 3, I think was the last time you saw them there. Then you get to season 4 when they go back, and it is just a really crazy place. You get all the propaganda signs that you saw in Solo. Remember, like, hey, if you see something, tell somebody type signs, and join the Empire and all this kind of crazy shit. It's all over the place. The planet's been just wrecked. And one of the characters, Ezra Bridger, who's like a Jedi apprentice, and he comes back for the first time in like a couple of years, and things have changed so much. And you kind of get those hints of Luke trying to go to Bespin after well, he's in Dagobah. He sees the visions of Han and Leia getting tortured, and he's like, hey, we need to go to Lothal. And he doesn't get to go, and then you see the repercussions of that, not getting to go. And there's that. There's some Mandalore Civil War in the first couple of episodes. It's really fun. There's a lot of callbacks to the past episodes and the Clone Wars, and it's great.
Was this the last season?
This is the last
This
season.
is the final season.
And they're also bringing in some characters and stuff from Rogue One, like Saw Gerrera from Rogue One. You get to see him before he gets all messed up, where you encounter him in Rogue One, where he's on a respirator and everything else. You get to see him before that point. And the last time you saw him you saw him in another episode of Rebels, but you saw him before that in the series in Clone Wars. And it's just really telling how he's put himself in where he sits in the rebellion and everything. So I'm just really enjoying it. I can't wait to see some more episodes.
Nice.
So. And then, last but not least, got the Hot Toys Episode 5, Darth Vader. Got shipped in this last week.
And we have a written review going up on GWW soon.
Yeah, we have a review going up on GWW. Wrote that up, Ray's edited it, and it'll be going up this next week.
Badass, dude.
It is. It's a really great figure. If you get a chance, read the review. Check it out.
We'll post it on all our social medias.
Yeah.
This will be your second one, correct?
This will be the second one.
Okay.
I'll be
the first
doing
one.
some more, and the next few will probably be classic reviews of figures and stuff like that. But whenever I get something new, I'll try to throw them up there. So, yeah.
Cool.
All right. So what I have done this week, besides
Tell us
be
about
a
it, Nathan.
badass, I watched season 2 of The Good Place.
Oh,
you finished it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I watched it all within 2 days. I usually don't binge shows. I try and make them last for at least a week or so because, I just hate wasting something so amazing, especially as A Good Place. It's one of my favorite shows now. But it was so good that I just kept hitting play and hitting play.
I get it.
And it's one of those shows, especially after season 1, you want to know where are they going to go with this?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
are they going to keep it moving?
Because season 1 was so good.
Yes. And they have not let me down at all.
Awesome.
Of course, you're getting to see everything side from I just call him Ted because Ted Danzig. I forget his character's name.
Yeah.
But you're seeing all the sides of the demons and like them trying to set up the bad place, and you just see how it just kept messing up and messing up. So it's really, really well done. It's very fun. The gentleman that's from Jacksonville, is it Jason, I believe?
I think so.
I just love how they pepper in so many references with Jacksonville, and he talks about his best friend Pillboy and how if he ever got into an issue, he'd make a Molotov cocktail and throw it, and that would get rid of his problem he was facing because he has a whole new set of problems because he did a firebomb.
Oh,
It's
man.
hilarious. I can't suggest that show enough to anybody that'll listen. I say, hey, watch this show, because it did not look good when I first heard about it. I blew it off, and I regretted it because now that I watched it, it's amazing. It's created by Mose from The Office. I forget the gentleman's name, but he also was a writer of The Office.
He was on the main writers.
Mo Shroot.
Yeah, Mose. But he created this show, and my hat is off to him, sir, because I don't really wear a hat that often.
You wear a hat often.
You do, not
I guess I
lately.
do sometimes.
You have lately.
Pretty often,
I've been
honestly.
watching the new Ink Master came out. I don't really talk about my trashy shows a lot, but I did watch a few this week.
I said Eat Master. I'm like, that show sounds amazing.
No, Ink Master. Ink Master is
I
probably the
starring it?
trashiest show that I watch. But I love tattoos, and the caliber of tattoos
It's your
are really
challenge.
well.
Yeah, you talk about that show quite a bit.
Show's great, but
Why
man,
is it trashy? Just
they,
because
they
like
put so much drama
so reality,
into it.
so much reality
yes.
production.
They don't. So I always compare it to. I watched this show called Face Off, which is a special effects show where they
With
do.
Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a movie where it's Nick Cage. It's actually I just watch Face Off every week, and that's how Chris
It's
gets
a
a show.
documentary.
But Face Off is a competition base where they have to create monsters and makeup effects. No drama. They show up, they do their
Yeah.
work, and they leave, and it's just very pleasant. I enjoy the show. Face Off, they show, or I'm sorry, not Ink Master, they show up, they do their tattoos, but then they talk shit to each other the whole time. They live together to talk shit. So it's just, they push the drama up.
It's fake. It feels fake.
Yeah, it's very
No,
hyped up.
there's a lot of drama in that stuff.
A friend of mine, a friend of a friend, but I have a tattoo friend named Cody, and he's actually friends with a person that was on Ink Master last season. And so he was kind of giving me, and he said it is, the producers really push the drama. They want you to push
absolutely.
issues up. And
People
so,
like that shit.
yeah. I went back and finished the song at the studio. Very proud of it. I will, if you follow
This is
me.
a second. This is a separate nerd on.
Yeah, this is a second.
This doesn't go with the Ink Masters
And this is.
Okay.
I went back to the studio of music.
of music.
We've been
not
recording.
not the tattoo studio.
And we finished one of the songs. It came out amazing, high quality, very in love with it.
so it's done.
Hey, Trump.
One song.
One song is done.
One song's
well,
done.
will you post it on Nerds Who Get Laid for our listeners to listen
Once
to?
we figure out how we're going to release it, we're
Okay.
I think we're
For
going to have to
free.
do one more mix. Yeah, it'll be free. I don't charge for that stuff.
Don't be
And then last, but
Money
not
grabber.
least, I watched a movie and I really loved it. Called "Let Me In." Anybody?
oh,
Yes.
fuck
Let Me In.
yeah!
I've heard
I've
about it.
never seen it, and I finally
Wait.
pulled the trigger on it.
Let Me In's the American version?
Yes,
Yes,
let the
yeah.
right one in is
So,
the other
like,
one.
let
Okay,
the right
that's
one
the one
in.
I have.
Is far superior, but Let Me In is so good.
I really enjoyed the movie. I
It's one of
thought
my favorite movies. I actually liked it better than the original.
Really, I like the original better, but it's like one of the best horror movies I've seen in like the last decade.
it makes me want to read the book because I was reading the IMDb because I didn't know that the character Abby in the book was actually a boy. And that's why she poses the question, would you love me if I wasn't a girl? But of course, and Let Me In, she is a girl. But the story is, for you guys that haven't seen it or heard of it, is this boy, this very weak, weird little boy, lives in a very poor area, like apartment complex, and a girl moves in the middle of the night with her, air quotes, dad.
Yeah.
And he keeps running into her every night, and they talk. She turns out that she's a vampire. You find out this very early on.
Child vampire.
Child
yeah.
vampire. And it's not like in Interview with the Vampire where she has matured over the years, where she is in a child's body, but she's a woman. No, she still kind of maintains a child
Persona.
like persona. Yeah, like she likes puzzles. She
And-
identifies with this little boy.
And it's like sort of hinted to that her quote unquote, like you said, air quotes, dad
No,
is not her first dad. Like
No, it was.
he's been with her.
since he was 12. That there's a scene where we're going all over the story, but you find out that the person that plays her dad, he goes out and does the killing for her and gets all the blood to help her feed. And
Wasn't it the dad from Step Brothers?
yes, Richard Jenkins, I believe.
Yeah.
And you find out through just, if you pay attention, you have to really look for it, but there's a scene where the little boy that's now meeting Abby is in her house, and he finds this old photo strip that's probably from the 40s, 50s, and the boy has big glasses just like her dad's character was wearing, so he's been with her that whole time.
So the kid is essentially going to become this new
caretaker.
New surrogate in a way.
Yeah.
Man, it is such,
Igor.
Yeah, it's such a good film.
No, I put it on and was just going to kind of watch it a little bit.
What made you watch it?
I've been seeing it, and I've heard really good things about it, and it was on Netflix, and I just hit play, and I did not regret it. I loved it.
No, that was a great one.
Phenomenal movie.
Does it still have the scene where he doesn't tell her, but he motions her to come into the apartment?
Yeah, and she starts
bleeding, tears. Okay.
I love it because it keeps all the vampire tropes. Because I wouldn't even call it a horror movie. It's not a scary movie at all. It's more of a vampire drama with light elements of thriller. I guess is what it is. Where she like kind of goes beast mode on it.
If you ever feel into it, let me in. I think it's Norwegian. Maybe
Let the right one in.
Let the right one in.
I'm sorry.
It's Sweden, I think.
Swedish.
Sweden or Sweden.
It is. Yeah, I feel like it's honestly better. Mike said that this one was better, but it is such.
It's a different
good
movie.
It absolutely is. It's the same
same premise.
Yeah. Wow. I watched that one first, and then I watched the remake, and both of them were so good because it was so different than everything else that's been put out recently.
You also have really good actors in this movie.
Children. That's why
it's almost. It's a look at character actors because there's very few characters in it, and you're really just getting to know this boy. His parents are splitting up. His mom is a religious fanatic who's also a drunk. So if you watch the movie, you never see his mom's face fully. She's just an absent parent, and this kid is pretty much on his own, being bullied at school and dealing with all these issues. And she is the only friend he has.
Yeah,
and it kind of makes a strong connection for them, and it kind of evolves from there. So if you haven't, it's on Netflix. It's about a 2-hour movie. It's worth every minute to watch it.
Absolutely. Watch that.
All right. That's it for the Nerd On. We're going to move over to the news.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce you to the newsman of the evening, Jimmy Ray Hancock. Come on now. He's with the news. You're going to read the news now. Jimmy Ray, he's with the news. Hey, Ray, what type of news you got tonight? I hope it's good, 'cause it's Ray with the news. Here we go. Ray's with the news chat. Ray's reading the news chat. Ray's reading the news chat. Ray's reading the news chat.
All right, let's talk about some news. I've got some DC Universe news. DC Universe. So we had the first DC Daily come out with Kevin Smith. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but there was a lot of information that came out of it. One of the things is that it is going to launch on September 15th, Batman Day. So
nice.
That'll be awesome. That's coming up pretty soon.
Has the beta already launched for it?
I don't know.
Or is that the end of this?
I'm not a member of the beta.
Are they still doing the promo?
I don't know, honestly.
I'll look it up.
I paid into it like a couple of months back, a month or so back. Alan Tudyk, who is Wash from Firefly, has been cast as Mr. Nobody, the villain in Doom Patrol. We talked about last week that Brendan Fraser is going to be one of the characters in that, and now we have Alan in this.
Holy shit, dude!
Yeah, they're pulling in pretty big
nerd talent.
Yeah, nerd talent, absolutely.
Yeah.
But pretty big talent for this stuff. It has me pretty excited for some of the other things that they're going to be putting out. I know they're probably like heavy end starting out, like, because we have this, and Stargirl is going to begin production in January to come out around fall of 2019.
She's getting her own series?
Yeah, which Jeff Johns is working on and everything. And we also got some stuff with Swamp Thing, which we heard was going to be coming on DC Universe. So the director of the pilot is Lynn Wiseman, who's done Underworld and done a lot of episodes of The Gifted and Lucifer and Sleepy Hollow.
Back to Stargirl for a minute. Is it the same character that's going to be in the Teen Titans show?
I thought it was Starfire.
Yeah, that's Starfire. That's a different one. So this is the girl version of Starman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So and this is one that Johns had talked about. We talked about a couple of months ago. He was excited to be able to do this character and all. So if they're pulling in people like Alan and Brendan Fraser for this Doom Patrol show, it's interesting to see like what else is going to be, with these other shows. Like what kind of talent are they going to be pulling in for this?
Yeah.
Another thing that was announced for this
Stephen Baldwin.
Exactly.
Oh man,
is the Batman animated series is going to be on the DC Universe, but for the first time, it's going to be in HD.
Did you guys watch the HD preview?
I did not.
It's only the opening sequences.
Okay.
It looks amazing because I watched it and I was like, this looks really good. I was like, but man, I remember the animated version looking amazing as a kid. So I pulled up a comparison. There's one on YouTube, and when you see them side by side, it is just night and day on how much. I mean, it's just beautiful. Like the colors pop more. You see more details, like in the suit and the shading.
yeah. I may have to do this.
I'm pretty excited seeing that because the animated show is already great.
Yeah.
Just up the quality of what you're seeing. I'm there.
Yeah, and apparently the Blu-ray is going to be out later this year, and we're not sure is this going to be 720, 1040? Is it going to be 4K? They haven't really released that, but like you said, the comparison difference is already looking great.
Yeah, look up the YouTube video.
Yeah,
it'll seal the deal.
So there's already a lot of stuff that they're planning and like really getting behind, because the Teen Titans stuff, I think on release day September 15th, we're gonna have access to that. So that
Nice.
all the comic stuff,
I still want to know about how they're doing all the comics.
I do too. But as much of a Marvel guy as I am, I'm really fucking excited about this.
Oh,
Yeah, I love their old school animated series, and
their new animated series, because
I mean, they're Batman and Superman and Justice League. It doesn't get much. Honestly, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, and we also got a trailer for Young Justice Outsiders.
Wait, I looked at your notes. It was Young Ustus?
Young Justice, yes. Because
Is that a Civil War soldier? Young Eustace.
Young Eustace. I thought... I did not realize that this was DC related.
That was about a Swedish orphan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Young Eustace, come here.
but Young Justice is amazing.
Yeah, original Young Justice was out of control good. So this is Outsiders.
We're just Young Justice.
There you go,
Young. But so September
Out
15th
Justice.
is right down the road.
Next week?
Yeah,
No, 2
weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks.
I was thinking this week. Yeah.
So if you haven't pre-ordered, maybe get out there and get it, because it looks like they're putting a lot of content out there real early, and there's a ton of content that they already have that they don't have to produce.
Yeah.
So
I think to pre-order it, they might run out of content.
they might run out of content. Disney service. So there's a possibility that the Disney service is going to be called, wait for it, Disney Play.
Man, someone...
That's pretty boring.
Fucking lackluster.
It reminds me of a Simpsons episode where they're talking about the holiday season. He's like, we need to come up with a new holiday. Something like Love Day, but not as terrible. And then he walks out, and he's in a boardroom, and the VP walks out, and they go, so is everybody good with Love Day? and I swear that's what happened. Like they were sitting there. He's like, all right, we need our own play system, something like Disney Play, but something better. And he walked out, and they go, yeah, Disney Play will do.
Yeah. No.
Absolutely. Because they own like 2/3 of Hulu now.
Yeah,
They're going to get something called Netflix, like Hulu, Netflix. Like those are like kind of unique things. Now, Flickster, when that came up,
But Disney next.
Disney Play is kind of
It works.
Disney Play sounds like
it's a little on the head though.
But I mean, you gotta think, if you're out there marketing wise, Disney Play automatically speaks to everybody
Disney?
from parents to
And
adults.
I will play it.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's not as
it's not a sexy name.
no. I feel like Disney has better out there, but I mean, we'll see if that's
this is a married for 20 years name.
yeah. If we'll see if this sticks, they might come up with something better. We'll see. But for right now, that looks like what it's going to be.
Just going like with HBO, just go Disney Go.
Yeah. Disney Online. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
Disney, enter the mousework.
So we have a new casting for Episode 9 of Star Wars. Matt Smith, the Doctor Who himself,
Yeah.
is being cast. We're not sure who yet, but
Nice pun.
yeah. But yeah, he's going to be in the new Star Wars when it comes out.
I like Matt Smith.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not a huge name, but it's a decent sized name.
It is
for
a
Star Wars.
big name for nerds.
Oh, it absolutely is. It absolutely is.
I was excited. I was looking at a sci-fi article, like who they would hope that he would play, and one of the choices was
I know you're
Grand Admiral Thrawn. I was like,
Oh God!
oh my God,
the chin.
I would just go nuts over
Is
it.
there any way that Grand Admiral Thrawn in the Star Wars universe could still be alive by that point? Though?
Yeah, because it's only. I mean, he's an alien one.
Yes.
And so you can explain it away by different lifespan. But also, I haven't got to the end of season 4 on Rebels, so I don't know if he dies at the end of it or...
Yeah.
Oh, because
makes
Rebels,
through-
Clone Wars, and all that is canon.
Yeah. So Rebels is canon. So you don't know if he's going to show up later or
But
whatever
that's
else.
like 40 years, isn't it? Between
20.
20? Okay.
Yeah. It's like 20, 25.
So, I mean, absolutely, he could be still alive. So...
it'd be about 30-something, 35 years, I think. Or
Yeah.
30... Well, at this point, about 30 years. Because because Force Awakens starts 30 years after, so...
Gotcha. So, Alec, moving on, because that would be awesome, but moving on, Alec Baldwin is going to possibly be Thomas Wayne on the new Joker film.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But also, breaking news, Alex Baldwin is not going to be Thomas Wayne on the new Joker movie. He was hired to be the Thomas Wayne on the Joker movie, and the next day... quit and said there are 25 other people that can play this part.
You know what I think?
Yeah, it was less than
my
24
theory
hours.
behind it is you know how Marvel lately likes to get an older name and put it in a movie, but it's never like the big thing. It's just that they're just there, and you're like, oh shit, they got so and so in this movie.
Yeah.
I feel that's what they were going for with Alec Baldwin, but he's like, I'm fucking gonna have like 3 scenes. I don't know. Anybody can do this goddamn role.
Yeah.
That's
God
what
damn.
it felt like.
I'm going to get shot and and play flashback scenes? Fuck
Yeah.
that.
That's how I
But an easy check.
I'm Alec Baldwin, God damn it.
Yeah. I'm not starring in this movie.
I was in Beetlejuice.
You guys can kiss my ass.
And I was actually
forgot about
excited for
that.
this because Alec Baldwin, I think, can be a very good actor. He can be really fucking ridiculous, but he can also be really good and straight laced and
I'm
everything.
Donald Trump every week on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, right.
I don't need 3 minutes in a damn Batman movie.
Pretty much.
But so he was in and then out just as soon as he was out. So that was
he hit it and quit it.
Yeah, he did. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will not be playing Jack Burton in the Big Trouble in Little China reboot.
Thank God.
So it's not so much going to be a reboot as it's going to be a sequel.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. I don't know how
super
they
good
would
with
do that. I just honestly, I don't know how I missed this movie for so long, but I just recently watched it at one of TJ's parties. That was a movie party, and
That was last year, bro.
well,
It's still
recently
good.
enough.
That's recent enough.
Okay.
This is the first time I've ever seen it.
Actually.
Actually, Charles.
When you've been alive for 3,000 years.
That was recent.
Recently
The
can't
last
be
10
next last
years is
year.
recent. But yeah, that's the first time I've seen it, and I don't know what kind of this has to be just a sequel of and then this happened.
Yeah.
So, which is fine because I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in such a ridiculous atmosphere as what happened in Big Trouble in Little China,
It fits.
that works.
Yes.
That's the Jumanji of next year or the year after, whenever this thing's coming out.
I'm completely good with it being kind of a pseudo sequel or whatever.
Yeah,
Don't do a remake. Do another character in this kind of crazy situation, and it's just so much fun. If John Carpenter's still alive and can still direct this thing, I'm hoping he's involved in some way.
Carpenter's still around.
Yeah.
No, he was.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? He was attached to this starting off with, wasn't he?
I'm hoping he is because man,
I'd figure producer probably.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, Big Trouble in Little China is a lot of fun, and Kurt Russell did just a really good job just being crazy.
I gotta watch that.
Oh yeah, I would
Yeah.
love Kurt Russell to
What
be
was it?
in
Just
it
bring
again.
Kurt Russell back.
He needs
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah,
He
just
needs
bring
to
him
be.
in for a cameo. He can have a quick shot. You
So
know,
we've been talking about the Venom movie for a long time, and this week,
Oh my
Award-winning.
God!
all of a sudden, just out of the blue, there was an Eminem track that dropped that was
It was the whole album.
It was the whole album.
He dropped his album, and I downloaded it. It's good until you get to Venom.
from the motion picture. Has anyone else? Did you listen to it?
so
Nathan?
this isn't
No.
an 8 Mile soundtrack. By any
It's
means.
not bad until it gets to when he starts doing the Venom, and he's
It's like
just
3
keeps going,
minutes
like,
into
I'm like,
the song
oh my
before it
God.
gets to that.
So
though.
this
I
isn't-
know.
This
So-
isn't a lose yourself then.
No,
Okay.
I listened to part of it yesterday.
I have the whole thing.
It's on Spotify. If you want to listen to this, I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Chuck, for $9.99, you could have listened to that album and any other album you wanted to
I
on
have Apple
Spotify.
Music.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
No, Spotify, Chuck. You're hearing us wrong.
So
Spotify.
I listened to part of it
Actually.
the other night on the way back from Orlando. I don't know how long this track is because it must be so long because it felt like about an hour before it got to the hook, the Venom hook.
I also feel though
The hook is
for
what's
your
bad.
old man ears, like rap just sounds longer to you than anything else. It probably is a standard 30-second verse, and you're like, "This is just going on forever." He's talking so many words.
So many
Chuck,
words.
Ali Ray, I don't even know.
Chuck, how does this compare to the
4.5
Deadpool
minutes.
1 or 2 soundtrack?
No, it felt way longer
I know.
than
But I'm
4.5
saying it's actually
minutes.
4.5, but it feels like
I know I listened to at least 2 minutes of it.
How does it compare to the Deadpool 1 or 2 track? Because Deadpool had its own little theme song put in that as
Did
well.
he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
They
Captain
played
Deadpool.
And
No, there's the Captain Deadpool song. What was 2? I don't remember 2, and I just watched it.
It's the
this week.
same one from the first movie.
Yeah. That is a goddamn American classic compared to this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
No, it was rough. It was
Oh.
really rough. But that was also a surprise. But I feel like
Everything around this movie is
Yeah.
really rough.
it's really rough. And it's like, I can't understand the people that are still like, oh, this looks really good. I'm really excited for this. This looks like the best movie
Well,
of the year.
the people that think this movie looks amazing are also Eminem fans.
Yeah, and they're going to be really fucking into this.
And they went to the theater in droves to watch the last 2 Fast and Furious movies.
Probably.
Wait till the Mountain Dew co-sponsorships come out with Venom all over it.
Oh, fuck.
But the
A
thing is-
black Mountain Dew.
They had a Black Mountain Dew for they had a Batman one. It was a black
Chuck,
black
don't-
grape. It was
Don't
good.
do this to me,
No, I'm just
Chuck.
saying,
Don't
but
do this to
The
me.
thing I'm wondering, because I've listened to the whole song, is when will they play it during the movie? Because
It'll
it
be
does
mid-
not
it's
fit.
a credit.
It
It's a
has
credit.
to be a
Credits.
credit. It has to be, because it does not
It-
fit at
Opening
all.
credits or closing
Ending.
credits?
It's in credits.
Yes.
I know Celine Dion was opening credits on Deadpool.
That fits. This
Yeah.
you haven't heard it, bro.
It's bad. It's bad. So let's talk about something else that might look like it was a train wreck. We'll see. The Spawn movie.
I think the Spawn movie is going to be good. You guys,
We'll see. Well,
it's
I mean, it's
trash on
directed by Todd McFarlane, who's never done fucking anything.
Hey, there's plenty
He
of
has-
people that have done first-time movies that are really good.
That's absolutely
He has
And-
written and drawn comic books, right? He
and-
can direct a movie.
And he also
Maybe.
is tying himself in with very talented people.
That's the
Yes.
thing. So what we're going to bring up is the visual director from The Walking Dead is now part of Spawn.
Yeah.
Which is one of the tops.
He I read the article and I thought it was really interesting because Todd McFarlane knows where he's at, and that's why he wanted a $10 million budget. He wanted to do this low budget. He's gotten some good talent like Jamie Foxx. Now he's gotten this guy because they want to rely more on practical effects than computer
They need to,
effects,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
will look better, especially on low budget.
yeah.
I personally like practical effects anyway. I always think they look
It's
lot.
realistic.
Yeah,
Yes.
they hold up. Look at The Thing. The
Yeah.
Thing is
Or Mad Max Fury Road, if
Yes.
you want a recent example.
Yeah.
I was just using the thing because that movie's so old, and you watch it now, and it still looks really,
I thought
really
you were
good.
talking about the Fantastic Four remakes.
Fuck.
Oh,
Yes, that's.
I mean,
exactly.
look
The
at
thing,
Jurassic
look at
Park.
the thing in Fantastic.
The original Jurassic Park
So-
still stands out.
beautiful.
with him kind of tying in with this gentleman who obviously is really good with zombies, you kind of roll that into Spawn face and anything
Death
that go with
people,
it.
yeah.
Death. I think it's going to be really well.
Between
I'm
that
very excited.
and Violator, and which I don't know if Violator will be a part of it, but
I don't think so. Just because with the budget of this movie,
maybe.
And you
Yeah,
don't
right. Like, how hard is it to get John Leguizamo?
That's what I was going to say. You don't want to bring people's
The only thing
audiences
that-
back to that.
The only thing that was good about the original Spawn was him as the clown. I thought he was great. The
The
whole
whole suit looked great.
yeah, because it's him squatting and walking around in a giant fat suit. It looked really good.
Was
It looked
the
right out
The
of
disgusting
soundtrack of that
farts.
pretty good?
Oh yeah,
Soundtrack was
phenomenal.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
Almost as good as Godzilla 99.
Yeah,
Come on now, that's a good soundtrack.
Spawn. They did this thing where they took metal axe and they mixed it with like industrial and techno, and it worked. It's a good. It's a weird.
It worked
but
really
very
well. It was a 90s movie.
It's very,
Very,
nice.
very 90s. So, so we're getting a good visual effects person for Spawn. So,
I think
I
it's
mean,
gonna be good.
we'll see. Honestly, right now,
Ray's a
I haven't
naysayer.
seen anything from it, but I'm feeling better about it than Venom. I mean,
That's not hard.
no, everything that
That's
comes
what she
out
said.
about Venom,
Unfortunately.
everything that comes out about
Many
Venom
times.
seems like
Yeah, it makes
this is just
It's like, how much more shit can you put on there?
Yeah.
everything about Spawn. I'm kind of like in a
a surprise Eminem track for Venom is like so par for the fucking course.
No, it makes perfect sense to me. When you say
Yeah.
that, I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you were not surprised at all.
I'm not surprised at all.
All right, well, we had a couple of trailers. One of them was for the Star Wars Resistance that's going to be coming out on October 7th on the Disney Channel. We were just talking about, TJ was talking about Rebels and how much we loved it. And we've gushed about Clone Wars for forever on the podcast between me and TJ. What were y'all's thoughts on Star Wars Resistance?
Animation looks good, or that I could care less
Yeah,
about
the
it.
animation looks beautiful. I think.
I'm interested because they're going into the new into the new trilogy.
It's-
They're getting away from that between episode 3 and 4 and the Clone Wars stuff. It's still got Dave Filoni, who was the head guy on Clone Wars and on Rebels. So I'm really excited on that.
And honestly, the animation is very anime-esque.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people have been kicking back on that.
See, my thing about it, looking at it,
it
is
looks
compared to Rebels and Clone Wars, I thought the animation that looked really cheesy and cheap. When it first came out, I haven't watched the shows. I'm sure it evolved, but I watched the first episode of Clone Wars or something.
The animation really doesn't change in those two series.
I don't like the animation of that.
But it's the stories though get you past it.
No, absolutely.
But this, watching it, the designs are a lot more slick. The colors are really bright, and it also has really good color variation, shading, light sources. Because there's that scene with her flying in the airplane, you can see the sunset on the left of her. Things like that. That
you
a
can see
lot
the
of
shadowing from one side to the other.
looked really, really good that you don't see in a lot of animation where they rush it out.
Yeah.
So to me, this looks at very high caliber quality.
I like that you mentioned the colors because in this too, it's before the First Order comes around. There's hints of the First Order and everything else.
Yeah.
And so it's not going to be as dark as these other two series are because the color palettes are kind of dark in Clone Wars and Rebels because of where they're set. There's a darkness over everything, and this is kind of bright, but there's some like you're saying, the shadows
like
are
the
in there.
ocean or something like that.
Yeah.
It was very pretty blues and whites and oranges.
I'm excited to see where this goes
Because it's gonna be completely new characters for you.
Yeah,
You got BB-8.
Nice.
yeah. There's there's some
'cause
tie-ins from Force Awakens, but it's going to be
From the Clone Wars and Rebels, because it's set further in the future. So
some of the names. Like when I was asking,
Poe
did
was
they
in
say
it,
Sparks?
Yeah.
That's a character that was brought up in one of the books. So I was kind of hoping it was that character.
Yeah.
There's some other characters from the books that could be the ones that are in this show, especially since they've been very careful to tie in everything together since Disney bought them.
Yeah, they've been really good about that.
Yeah.
So the other thing that we got a trailer for, other than the Young Justice that we talked about already, was True Detective Season 3.
Interesting.
Who's watched Season 2 of True Detective?
I have.
Mike has finished it.
Mike's the only one that's finished it.
Michael Wayne.
We loved Season 1. I think everyone watched Season 1, right?
I haven't.
Season 1 was
TJ
phenomenal.
Season 1 was out of control good.
This, from the previews before, let Mike talk about Season 2 to kind of justify it, because I know me and I think Charles both said that we didn't really fall into Season 2 that much. I watched 3 episodes, maybe 4, and it just didn't grasp me the same way that Season 1, but this looks like we're getting more to just a single character story, at least by preview.
Yes.
And I think it's fair to assume that because the last previews for 2 and 1 really showed you the dynamics of having 2 characters to focus on, with being Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn, and the other one being Matthew McConaughey and
Woody Harrelson.
So we're just dealing with the one character. I don't know that gentleman's name, but he played Cottonmouth on Luke Cage.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah. Which he's a very, very good actor.
Yeah, he's great.
And from the previews, it looks like they're going towards maybe something to do with kids missing.
It looks like there's a huge difference of time, because at one point he's got like older makeup to age him.
I think he's probably recalling a case similar to season one, where like they're going back and reviewing stuff. But this is many years later.
Yeah,
him trying to pull back, and obviously we're pulling this off from a teaser, but it looks like he's trying to remember things about a certain case, or maybe cases that were going on. And there's a scene with some kids going by on bicycles, and later on, his character finds that one of the bikes on the side.
Yeah, he's looking at the evidence around it and stuff.
So you're pretty hyped for this?
Yes.
It sounds like
that's what I liked about Season 1, because Season 1 had that mystery of...
Season 1 was a lot of mystery.
Yeah, there was the death and the cults, and then because Season 2 was just a different feel, and I didn't buy into it.
Well, if you notice, too, his wife is talking to him. He's talking to him when he's
still
older.
Young.
She's still young.
So she's dead.
So I'm thinking there's some psychological stuff going on there, too. It looks really good.
Yeah. What about you, Michael
Wayne?
I mean, I'm always excited about True Detective. It didn't say who was writing it, if Fukunaga was back or not, the guy who penned the original one. But, I mean, the actors look good. The story looks good. And, kind of like we talked about earlier, True Detective has this amazing ability to just kind of make you feel dirty when you watch it, and just kind of just stressed out and gross and everything. And you have this pit in the middle of your stomach. And I feel like this is going to do the same thing. It's going to take you down a path that is going to be a rough path, but it'll be entertaining, and it'll be a damn good show. So I'm really excited about it. I'm just looking forward to what they have to offer.
Absolutely. No, I will be tuning in. Whenever does that come out this year? Did it even
2019?
Yeah,
January.
It's next year.
January. Okay, so that's only a few months away.
It's still close.
It's not far.
And unfortunately, August 29th of 2016, actor Gene Wilder passed away.
So we were kind of alarmed, because the motherfucker died already once.
Yeah. We thought, man, we put him in his grave 2 years ago. What's he doing back?
We have a chat where we just talk bullshit, but we also have one where we send news. And we got an alert in the news when one of our members said, Gene Wilder died.
I know, it's so fucking crazy. Who did that?
He's just he's excited. Yeah. Everyone should be excited about his third reincarnation, Gene Wildest.
Jesus the
Wildest.
Yeah. First it was Gene Wild, and then we got Gene Wilder, and now we're going to get Gene Wildest.
I mean, he has the word gene, as in jeans. It's all been a secret ploy the whole time.
It's a denim conspiracy.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, well, that's the news. How would y'all feel about coming back? And maybe we'll do some questions.
I think I saw some pretty good questions.
Yeah, I did. Decent questions this time.
All right, let's do that.
What's your favorite superhero?
All right, so we got some questions, some nerd questions coming out to us. Pookie Gal says, what are your thoughts on the Mego relaunch? Did anyone know?
Yes, yes.
Okay, TJ knew.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I saw
He's
this.
our toy guy, so
These things are amazing.
Migos always have been amazing.
Yes, but these are even better because they have things like the goddamn facts of life.
What?
Yes. They have like the facts of life. Oh shit, what else was there?
So I can get a Trudy Migo.
You could get a Trudy Migo.
What's Amigo?
Migos were a line of figures that were released in the late 70s, and they got licenses from everybody. It's
Yeah.
unheard
Robot
of.
Chicken.
You could not get these licenses the same way they did back in the day.
I got it
'Cause
for
they-
a still.
Yeah, they were 8-inch figures. They had Spider-Man and Batman and Superman
Star
and
Wars
Star
or
Wars.
Star Trek.
Captain
Yeah,
Kirk.
Star Trek, not Star Wars,
Not
because
Star
they
Wars.
passed on Star Wars. Like, no, we can't sell this shit. And Kenner picked it up and made buku amounts of money, but
Which kind of put them out of business.
which put Mego out of business. But
they're like plush with like heads.
no, they're not plush. They're plastic. They had rubber heads, but they had cloth
That's what it
outfits.
is. Okay.
And they had like Dukes of Hazzard and Star Trek, and it just crazy as shit, all in the same scale. A lot of reused bodies and stuff like that. They're a great series of figures back in the day, and Target has an exclusive re-release that's out in stores
nice.
right now. So if you're in Target, just go to.
What are the characters? Are they like Stranger
They're
Things
just
or
all
something?
over the damn place.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's
like
awesome.
Facts of Life and Golden Girls and fucking Star Trek and A-Team, and it just
So are you putting up the whole Hot Toys flag and
no.
putting the Mego flag?
I'm not even touching this, but it's just
But it's awesome.
amazing to see it.
It's the
It's like-
hilarity and how far they can go with this.
Yeah, it's like Funko in an 8-inch action figure
Yeah.
with cloth outfits. So yeah, if that's your bag, go for
the
it. 'cause-
Aquaman one is fucking
looks-
hilarious.
it looks
looking
great.
for the originals.
Mhm.
Okay, so Elizabeth from the Twitter asked, who would win in a fight, John Wick or Lorraine Brunton from Atomic Blonde? Has anyone seen Atomic
I saw
Blonde?
Atomic Blonde.
Did you? What'd you
Did
think?
she kill John Wick's dog?
Would she kill John
No,
Wick?
did she?
Doesn't
She
matter.
did not, but I feel like she would.
Okay.
So between the two of them, who's going to win, Mike?
John Wick.
It's really hard concept. I would say John Wick just because John Wick's universe is kind of slightly fantastical, while hers was, like 1980s, like real world
Gotcha.
spycraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she's pretty badass. Some of the fight choreography in that movie is really good.
I heard.
I've been
nothing but good
meaning to
things
watch
about
it.
I think it really depends if she killed his dog or not.
I don't think it was a great movie, but the action was really good and had some pretty good actors and actresses.
Right on.
Yeah.
So Paul Tracy from the Twitters asked, what are your favorite and least favorite live action shows and movie adaptations of comic properties? Which properties from any comic publisher would you like to see adapted on TV or film? So let's start off. What are your favorite and least favorite of the TV shows and comics, movies or shows?
One of my favorites, and I'm going to go really old school on this, and I know it's not very comics accurate or anything like that, but it strikes a very nostalgic chord for me, is the Incredible Hulk series from the 70s.
That's one of your favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just and we're talking,
Lou
he said
Ferrigno.
live action, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
It was just really good. You wanted to tune in every week and see the Hulk just beat the shit out of things and stuff. So I really like that. Another one, as far as I like, would be the 70s Wonder Woman show.
Uh-huh.
Old TJ always got to go for two. Just can't tell us one.
I know. But as far as least favorite would be the Generation X pilot.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I
love
managed to catch
Generation X.
I love
and
the comic.
I've started
I
it.
hate that show.
No, I started it and it was so bad. I couldn't the characters were not.
No.
They were there in name only.
Yeah.
So I've never finished that.
Oh, a special mention to the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, yeah. So what about the rest of you? Do you have a favorite and least favorite live action show or movie adaptation of a comic property?
A movie also. I mean,
Yeah, movie or
too.
shows.
Shows? I don't
I
have
just
one.
went with TV shows.
Shows, I think Arrow, as much as I like still watch it sometimes, I think Arrow is really bad. The actors are bad. I think Stephen Amell is a great guy, and he's really good to his fans, and people love that stuff. As a Green Arrow goes, and as most of the actors go in that show, they're really bad.
Yeah.
They're really bad.
if I wanted the favorite show, I probably would say The Flash, just because it's so
Yes.
fun
yeah.
and it's so true to comics. Like, as you watch the show, just the silliness of it, it makes you feel like you're watching a true comic book show, because they're not trying to, have that gritty, based in reality type.
And it's like
show.
larger than life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have King Shark and stuff like that, you're just like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love it. Least favorite when it comes to shows that I've actually watched, because I'm sure there's other ones I would hate more. I would feel it'd probably be Iron Fist or maybe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., just because I didn't like it. It got good for just a minute, and then I thought it just fell off again.
No, I get that.
No.
I think the Iron Fist was better than most people said, but it still
It's weird.
wasn't good.
It's that
It was
comparison.
weak. Yeah.
It's that comparison to the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That really drags it down.
Also, I'd say like The Gifted. I'm just always disappointed with where it goes. I'm excited by the characters that they bring in
And the concept of it.
and the concept of it, but the actual execution. Yes, thank you, Chuck, for completing all my sentences and
Sandwiches. Yes.
Yeah, it just doesn't hit for me. Best though, what would we say our best are? Our favorites. TJ already gave us some.
I said The Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
I
agree.
think Preacher's really good.
Preacher's really good.
Yeah.
Batman
Batman 66.
Huh? Batman
yours?
66.
Give us your one, and let's move on.
From shows, I don't know. I think Punisher and Daredevil have been really good.
I agree, those are
show
really good.
wise.
Yeah, those are really good.
Movie wise, I think a lot of the Marvel stuff has been pretty straightforward, pretty straight on. Infinity Gauntlet with like Thanos and everything, I think that was incredible. I think they did a great job with that.
Deadpool also.
Deadpool
Just it
is
nailed
Deadpool.
that. I know,
Yeah,
but
they
it's
nailed it.
literally they nailed that.
So let's see. We've got another one. Jack from Facebook.
There was a second part of that question.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Oh, what properties would you from any comic publisher would you like to see adapted for TV or film?
Savage Dragon.
Yeah. That was
Always
like
Savage
to say.
Dragon.
Yeah, that's
Why
the
not?
only one that.
Well,
You brought that
I think
question
they've
back
had some
just so you
animated-
could land that joke.
I think there's some animated
Joke.
stuff they've done, but I think it got like 5 episodes or something like
Oh, I
that.
don't
Of
even
what?
know about Savage Dragon.
Dragon.
I know
No,
there
there
was
was a whole
like-
season.
Was there really?
Yeah, USA carried it for
Yeah,
a
You
little
got
while.
that?
It was
On-
way back
You
in the
got that on
day.
DVD?
No.
Oh man.
I'm serious.
I remember it got animated at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, USA carried it for a small while.
I will say I'm really excited that another Swamp Thing's going to be coming, even though it's just on DC
Oh, yeah.
Universe.
Yeah.
I
We'll
would
have-
love to see. It would never work, but the Max.
Oh,
live
yeah,
action.
live action
Yeah,
Max.
because
that
it would just
never
be so
work.
insane.
I
I don't know.
think-
Look at Thanos. If you can
No.
put the budget,
I think the difference, but Max is by Sam Keith's art in the Max is because it's so out of control and like disproportionate and exaggerated.
I would love it.
And I love that. Like, and when he does Batman, when he does Wolverine, when he does the Max, it's so like wild and brutal and just crazy looking. And I don't know if you can do that live action. His stuff is so. I love it. And I know you do too. But I would honestly kill to see someone try that though.
Yeah, live action. I would love to see someone do Peter David's X Factor, the original government team, or even the investigations.
Yeah, X Factor investigation would be so good
if they could do it right and do it live action. Those would be incredible.
Yeah.
Either one.
And Jack on the Facebooks asked if you were to find yourself in a total nerd bloodbath battle. Think along the lines of Anchorman. What's your weapon of choice? All right, we're going to start with Nathan. Nathan, what's your weapon of choice in a bloodbath nerd all-out rage battle?
Probably nunchucks with nails hammered through them.
That's a good one.
I would
That's
just
a good one.
bleed in
That's
my
not bad.
hands, but it's a blood battle.
And
You
you
gotta
bleed in
bleed.
your. They'd probably stick in your back also.
So I'm gonna
I'd
also,
be wearing armor though, Chuck. You didn't ask
Yeah,
what
you
my
didn't ask
outfit
about
was. I'm in a knight outfit.
I'm also gonna say, like,
full suit of armor.
you can't have guns.
You fucking idiot, Chuck.
You can't have guns.
Chuck, you ignorant slut.
Yeah. God. Actually, Chuck.
TJ, what's your weapon of choice in a nerd battle?
Okay.
No guns is what we're going
No
with.
guns. No guns. But I'm going to go back
Apparently.
to... I'm going to go back to original Star Trek.
I'd have a cannon.
Trident and net from the original Star Trek series, and you have to have the music going. Yes, that's what I would go with, because it's a nerd bloodbath.
Okay.
So you have to have the nerd soundtrack
Well, I'm
going in the background.
absolutely going to have a bazooka. So
I feel
Just
Chuck
kidding.
would already have his knives on him. So
Yeah, Chuck always. Chuck could have like that.
There's two. I actually asked the people at work this question.
Flip flop knife too, where he stops his flip flop down and a knife pokes out the front.
that would be bad.
Lose a couple toes.
Actually, he could just use his Italian toenails. I'm gonna go all spider monkey on you.
Eagles coming in for a win.
I just seeing Chuck go spider monkey on somebody. And he's just leaping at him. He has his feet forward.
I start humping them.
It's just,
But
He just starts shaking his head no, and the wind starts blowing.
Chuck is like, I'll use my body.
Lucille.
the bat.
Yes, from Walking Dead.
A loose seal that would attack biting off everyone's
I paused
hands.
for a reason. But because I mean, even you could swing it with both hands, or you could push people away and still hit them with that. But have any of y'all seen the movie Ninja Assassin?
No.
Okay,
No.
Three ninjas.
No, shut up. There's a weapon. It's a sickle with a chain and a weighted
yeah,
ball.
I know,
I saw that on Daredevil as well.
Yeah, I think it's a. I'm not even going to pronounce the name, but
It's a
one of those.
traditional Japanese
Shut up. No, it begins
weapon.
with a K. I know that much, but one of those.
All right, Michael.
Proton pack.
Nerd
for
fight.
Ghost. For
No,
Ghost.
if
See,
it's gonna
you
work,
guys
it's a nerd
thought
fight.
I would come up with the crazy
A mech.
stuff.
RoboCop suit.
I'm saying like Trident and the net and
Bigfoot. Both the vehicle and the mythical beast riding together.
He's just
Same
riding
thing.
shotgun.
Bigfoot talks like Chewbacca. No, I would probably just use an Excalibur replica and cut my own damn hand
One that
off.
you bought at like a flea market.
Yeah, a Mall Ninja Excalibur.
Take the keyblade off my wall.
What are they're not katanas, but they're shorter swords. Because a katana, I feel like is too long. I want a shorter sword, but I want two of them.
Machete.
No.
Okay, so that's not what I'm talking about. But yeah, I want double machetes.
I know what you're talking about.
No, we've moved on, Chuck.
No,
to
I know
double
what you're talking
machetes.
about.
I want to see Ray with two oolocks like Riddick, you know, the knives that curve around his fist.
I feel
Gut
Ray
you.
will probably just run out there with his old Civil War gun with a bayonet on it.
Or like a flip, like a pocket knife he's flipped open. It's very old.
It's just very old and rusted.
I still want to see Chuck's flip flop knives.
very sharp, but I'm gonna give you tetanus.
I just got.
Do you remember Ray with the fertility spear last year?
Yeah,
I could see him
fuck yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, goddamn.
I'd fuck some shit up with a fertility spear.
You see Ray some fertility javelins.
Stab Chuck in the gut with it. He gets pregnant.
Yeah. Who's cutting meat now, motherfucker?
Got me some Chuck steak.
This is dead. Some ground chuck.
All right, well, that's the questions we got this week. So, listen, if you're listening, go follow us on all the things. Number one, YouTube. We need more YouTube followers. Instagrams, we need more of that. We need more people following us on the Facebook and the Twitter. So, do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Your use
listening.
of articles.
Thank you for listening.
Highly incorrect.
Right on. Have a good evening, bitches.
Love it when Die Hard killed that guy.
Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes is recorded at the illustrious Big Brown Record Town Studios in beautiful downtown Lake City. Episodes are published each Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and Google Play. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Nerds Who Get Laid. We're at Nerds Who Get Laid on Twitter and Instagram. We're part of the Geeks Worldwide Podcast Network. You can find reviews and articles we write at thegww.com. We're also part of the Modest Pod Podcast Network. We're on FloridaGeekscene.com and also WeBeGeeksPC.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. You can also check out the show notes for links about things we talked about in this episode. Thanks so much.
This has been a production of the GWW Radio Network. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also, check out Geeks Worldwide at thegww.com for all the latest news, reviews, and opinions on video games, comics, movies, TV, cosplay, and more. Geeks Assemble!